Good morning, and we are in uh, section 63. We've read to verse 12, but just to give a little bit of reference, we've been talking about signs and people that sought after signs. Also, at the beginning of this, it um, was addressed to those that call themselves members of the church. So this isn't just the general public, this one. This one is specific to the church, and it's not just for the leadership or anything. This is for the church. Um, so we've talked about those that sought signs, and now he's going to go even deeper into the things that the church needs to be looking at um, in these days. I looked last year, or last time we studied, about 4 years ago, 2021, I believe, um, and this chapter or this section took a whole week's worth, and we haven't had a whole week's. We've had a couple of days. So um, if it seems like we're going through this fast, then I guess it's because we are. But we also have a lot in here. One of the other things I thought of is remember that um, a couple of chapters before, couple of sections, sorry, keep using chapters, when they're talking about what they should do, um, Joseph Smith was told that he and a couple of others should um, not stop on the way and preach. The other people were asked to preach, but several others were told that they should hurry back to Kirtland. And I felt that this is part of the reason. It seems like because this comes right after they get back, about 2 or 3 days, I think, after they get back to Kirtland. And it seems that this is really long and just really meaty with a lot of stuff. Like the Lord saying, you need to get back because this needs to be addressed um, for the church here. So we've got, we'll get right into it, I guess. Wherefore I, the Lord, am not pleased with those among you who have sought after signs and wonders for faith, and not for the good of men and my glory. I just read that again, um, just to get it in there to see where we are. The Lord's saying that we need to do things for the good of men and to his glory. Then he says, nevertheless, I give commandments, and many have turned away from my commandments and have not kept them. Obviously, he's not happy. And remember how he talks about commandments. He's saying commandments are there to bless your lives. And if you're not going to live the commandments, then you're not going to be blessed the way that you should be. Um, I give the commandments, and you think you're going to get into heaven some other way than by living my commandments. I think you're wrong about that. That doesn't that he's the one that gave the commandments, not us. you know. Um, and for us to say that they aren't necessary would be wrong. There were among you adulterers and adulteresses, some of whom have turned away from you, and others remain with you, that hereafter shall be revealed. The Lord's letting them know, hey, you're my church. I know what's happening in my church. Um, and some are still among you who are not living uh, the law of chastity in this way. Let such beware and repent speedily, lest judgment shall come upon them as a snare, and their folly shall be made manifest, and their works shall follow them in the eyes of the people. So it's something that they can't just keep hiding, and uh, it's very important that they don't. Verily I say unto you, as I said before, he that looketh on a woman to lust after her, or if any shall commit adultery in their hearts, shall not have the Spirit, but shall deny the faith and shall fear. So he's putting it down as the first ones that there were people who have committed adultery, the actual act. This is saying if you're committing adultery in your hearts, um, or if you look on a woman and lust after her, um, or vice versa, or anything like that, um, then that you shall not have the Spirit. Wherefore I, the Lord, have said that the fearful and the unbelieving and all liars, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie, the whoremonger and the sorcerer shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone. So, which is the second death. So he's changed here a little bit, but not that far off, really, because you can almost guarantee somebody that's um, committing adultery, or at least adultery in their hearts, will have that fearful and have that sense of um, holding something back and having to lie about it. But that's not saying that that's just the people. There's a lot of other people who just love to make a lie. Loveth and maketh a lie. It doesn't take long um, on the internet to see a lot of people who's just living in those lies. Uh, and it's not great. And the whoremonger and the sorcerer have put so there's a few these people, uh, and hopefully we aren't that way in our own lives. I always like to put it back on ourselves. Is there something that we can do better in any of these? Verily I say, they shall not have part in the first resurrection. Now behold, I the Lord say unto you, that ye are not justified, because these things are among you. Nevertheless, he that endureth in faith, and doeth my will, the same shall overcome, and shall receive an inheritance on the earth, when the day of transfiguration shall come. So it's important that they have this, that they endure in faith and doeth his will. Um, and that's who gets the inheritance. So he's saying, if they repent, they endure to the end, and those that don't do these things in the first place, but those that do are not justified. Now he's going to go a little bit further, and he's going to talk a little bit about the inheritance upon the earth when the day of transfiguration shall come. And when the earth shall be transfigured, even according to the pattern which is shown unto mine apostles upon the mount, of which account the fullness thereof have ye have not yet received. I don't think we've received it to this day, as far as I can see. I can't say I had an extensive look, but there's not a lot in the Joseph Smith translation. Nothing that would say, "Hey, you've got a lot more in here than is being said." Uh, so I think there's a lot more that is there. But just to give you an idea of what we're talking about, after 6 days, Jesus taketh Peter, James, and John, his John his brother, and bringeth them up into an high mountain apart, and was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment as white as light. And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elias, talking with them. So that's the account that they're talking about. Um, and as far as I'm aware, we don't have the fullness of the account. There is a little bit of extra knowledge um, about what he talked about with them, uh, given in the Joseph Smith translation. But that's I don't even I I'm wondering if they'd already translated that by this time. Now verily I say unto you, as I said, that I would make known my will unto you. Behold, I will make it known unto you, not by the way of commandment, for there are many who observe not to keep my commandments. But unto him that keepeth my commandments, I will give the mysteries of my kingdom, and the same shall be in him a well of living water, springing up unto everlasting life. I think that's really important. I don't know why I haven't marked that, but him that keepeth my commandments. It keeps coming back to one thing he's saying. He's saying, just keep my commandments. Keep my commandments. Then I can give you these things, the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. Um, Actually, I think these were marked in my phone, and it didn't transfer again. Now behold, this is the will of the Lord concerning his saints, that they should assemble themselves together in the land of Zion. Now it seems like he jumps again a little bit, but he's talked about how they should prepare, keep the commandments. And then he says to assemble themselves together in the land of Zion, not in haste, lest there should be confusion, which bringeth pestilence. So he wants them to assemble, but he wants to do it in an orderly fashion and not in a hasty way that would cause more problems than is worth, basically. Um, they're going to have problems anyway, but some of that is because some of them said, "Hey, I'm going to Zion anyway," and forget that they should be listening to the Lord's prophet first and foremost. Behold, the land of Zion. I, the Lord, hold it in mine own hands. Nevertheless, I, the Lord, render unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's. And if you remember, close to the end of his life, uh, he was asked about paying taxes. I don't know if they got much of that. And he said unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things which be Caesar's, and unto God the things which be God's. They began accuse him, saying, they found this fellow perverting the nation and forbidding to give tribute to Caesar, saying that he himself is Christ the King. Notice they accuse him of something that he never said. This is what he said about the rendering unto Caesar that which is Caesar. Um, Caesar's. Wherefore I, the Lord, will that you should purchase the lands, that you may have advantage of the world, that you may have claim on the world, that they may not be stirred up unto anger. For Satan putteth it in their hearts to anger against you, to the shedding of blood. Um, I usually have these marked, and like I said, it didn't come through. I thought it was all marked here, but I put that one in gray because it let us know what Satan puts in the hearts of the people. Wherefore, the land of Zion shall not be obtained by purchase, wait, but by purchase or by blood. Otherwise, there is none inheritance for you. So it's saying there's only two ways to obtain it, by purchase or by blood. You can't just go and squat on the land and it's going to be yours. It's going to be one or the other. And if by purchase, behold, you are blessed. And if by blood, as you are forbidden to shed blood, lo, your enemies are upon you, and ye shall be scourged from city to city, and from synagogue to synagogue. And but few shall stand to receive an inheritance. So I think this is important in the sense of this is really, when we have history behind us and we can look at it, it seems so much clearer that here he's saying, almost foreshadowing the fact that there could be bloodshed, but don't let it be from you, that it be from your enemies. And if it is from you, ye shall be scourged from city to city, and from synagogue to synagogue, and but few shall stand to receive an inheritance. And just thinking they should have, um, just thinking about the people that were there and the things they did, they were scourged and they were uh, had to go from city to city. And in 1838, when so many members went down there, it just seemed to be that this is what happened. So instead of at one point, because of all the persecution in Kirtland, um, they did leave and go flee to Zion, but not, but almost in haste, because they all went down there so quickly. Um, but even before that, we were having so many problems, and they're purchasing lands, and the people were um, uh, being persecuted down there. And we'll see that in the next little while, and we'll probably hear about it a little bit more. Um, but he's almost just prophesying here of what what will happen, uh, but in such a way that you're not giving away and saying, "Well, you shouldn't try." I, the Lord, am angry with the wicked. I am holding my spirit from the inhabitants of the earth. I have sworn in my wrath and decreed wars upon the face of the earth, and the wicked shall slay the wicked, and fear shall come upon every man. So the people that will be slaying people will be the wicked slaying the wicked. And I can't help but think, even though it's not saying it directly, and it doesn't, I don't see that it says it, that anybody says, yes, this is exactly this, because I think it means more than that, but this is upon the face of the earth, but upon the face of the earth in Missouri, you find that that some of the worst battles in the Civil War were fought on those lands. And so when we're talking about obtaining it by the shedding of blood, there's been plenty of that. And the Saints got off quite lightly, actually, because they'd moved out and they've gone to the west to Utah, where, or Utah Territory, I guess at the time. Um, and because they were there, then they escaped this wickedness, or this war, the civil war. And the saints shall hardly escape, nevertheless. Now it says hardly escape, but remember this is talking about just um, the way that they would um, have problems. Just because you're having a problem does not mean that you're not righteous. The saints shall also hardly escape. Nevertheless, I, the Lord, am with them, and will come down in heaven from the presence of my Father, and consume the wicked with unquenchable fire. And behold, this is not yet, but by and by. So we'll leave it there, because I think it goes into some other things next. But notice how he just lets us know that the wicked will fight the wicked will be consumed. Um, and the saints will still face some real trials and may die on the way as well. Nevertheless, I, the Lord, am with them, and will come down from heaven from the presence of my Father, and consume the wicked with unquenchable fire. And I guess, to finish off today, the best thing that we can do is listen to the Lord's commandments and live them wholeheartedly. We do that, we will see signs and wonders. But most of all, we will eventually be able to go back with Him and live with Him. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.